subscribe on my channel at Kisazo. Thank you guys. Thank you. Love you. Peace. Hello guys. What's up? This is Gerard and I'm going to take you through Nazism and Adolf Hitler in brief. So before we continue, I urge you please subscribe on my YouTube channel, and that is at Kisazo. And also you can follow me on all my socials at Casey Gerard on Insta, Nze Gerard Twitter, Nze Gerard Facebook. Okay, let's continue. Adolf Hitler, he was born in the year of 1889 in the town of Bremen on an Austrian border between Germany and Austria. So he was indeed an Austrian born. Adolf Hitler joined the First World War on the side of Germany against the Allied powers. In the Allied powers, we had countries like Britain, we had countries like France, among others. So we are going to see that after this World War, Adolf Hitler sustained injuries and he joined the National Socialist Germany's Party. But before joining that National Germany's Socialist Party, he was given an Iron Cross for his bravery, because he would take letters from one point from the battlefield to his commanders in the offices. So he was given an Iron Cross and he was promoted to the rank of Ras Corporal. So Adolf Hitler, after that, he joined the National Germany's Party, but due to his rhetoric skills and good language output, he was made the chairman of the National Germany's Party, which he later named the Nazi Party. So he set up a dictatorial law which ruled Germany. So the Nazi Party was very instrumental for his rise to power. So after there, he and Nazism ruled Germany from 1933 to 1945 until when he committed suicide. So the factors for the rise of Adolf Hitler and Nazism were as follows. If you have any question about Adolf Hitler, about Nazism, just forward it. I will give you the approach. You can send them via my Gmail, that is at gerardkisaritsa@gmail.com. Okay, let's continue. Adolf Hitler was factors for the rise of Adolf Hitler to power. The first one, and the very crucial one, was the First World War. How did the First World War contribute to the rise to power of Adolf Hitler? In the first place, we are going to see that this World War and Hitler the Iron Cross, and for his bravery. Remember, he used to carry letters from the battlefields to his generals in the offices. That left alone, this young man, this talent attained military skills. He saw his guys fighting, also engaged himself in actual fighting, so he attained the practical thing of it, and he used the thing to eliminate his enemies in future, like the Jews, the socialists, the communists, among others. We are going to see that this was a stepping stone for his rise to power. Another point we have the Versailles Peace Treaty. So the VPT in brief was very instrumental for his rise to power. We're going to see that this VTP, or the Paris Treaty, solely blamed alone Germany for causing the First World War. this was unfair because Germany was not the only country which destroyed the world property. Another point is this: the German lost its rich territories of Ronen and Alsika. These towns were these provinces choose to get minerals from them. So this was a setback of Germany. No wonder that Adolf Hitler used this to undermine the Weimar, which had accepted these things, hence his rise to power. We are going to see that another point about the Versailles also disarmed Germany. It disarmed Germany to something like 100,000 soldiers. So these soldiers were left to carry sticks. Most historians call it sticks, but actually they are not sticks, they are batons. Batons and sticks, I think they are the same. So these soldiers could not maintain law and order in Germany. No wonder when the Hitler rose to power, he rearmed the German forces. So we have another point. We have Hitler himself. Hitler himself was responsible for his rise to power. How? We're going to see that Adolf Hitler, he himself, he wrote certain books like My Struggle, in which he popularized the 25 points on which he is going to rule if he was given chance to rule German, on how he would administer it. We're going to see that this same Hitler formed the Nazi stormtroopers. So what was the Nazi stormtroopers? This was his terrorist group, which he was headed by Ernest and the jobless individuals, and its aim was to carve out, to eliminate, to crush the enemies of Nazi party. So this one was very instrumental because it killed most of the potential enemies, hence making Nazi party to gain more positions in the parliament. Another point we are going to have is the book for the writings of Adolf Hitler. You should be remember that when Adolf Hitler was imprisoned, he embarked on writing. He wrote pamphlets, he wrote news articles, and more. The most known one was this book known as My Struggle. So in this My Struggle, this one was the most popular one among the Germans. In this book of his, he outlined the 25 points on which he was given power and how he was going to administer Germany. Among them was to eliminate the Jews from any public office, and he blamed them for causing the outbreak of for the defeat of Germany in the First World War. So this was very instrumental. The Germans rallied behind him and gave him full support for his rise to power. Another point, we have the growing spirit, the fear of communism in Germany. So what is communism? Communism, this is an ideology as you see capitalism. So communism advocates for individual for state ownership of land, of property. Communism also advocates for good working conditions. So the middle class, the businessmen, never wanted this to happen because it had happened in Russia after the 1917 Russian Revolution, where most of the individuals lost their property to the government. So the businessmen feared this not to happen to them and grabbed funds and gave to Hitler his rise to power. We are going to see that This man, Adolf Hitler, also was very instrumental. He used other means for his rise to power. We are going to see that Adolf Hitler was his rise to power was outstated from the death of President Hindenburg. So President Hindenburg was the last king, was the last president of the Weimar. So after the death of President Hindenburg, the little corporal, this energetic young man, Adolf Hitler, combined the two offices of Chancellor and President, and he made himself the Chancellor President after the death of Hindenburg. That is, after 3 days, he made himself the Chancellor President. So with this, he also made himself as the commander-in-chief. So he was in charge of the army and in charge of the state. So that was his last stone for his rise to power. Okay. Another point we have is the tradition of the Germans. So traditionally, Germans never wanted democratic governments. They wanted governments which were dictatorial, the governments which would give them command and they would obey. So no wonder that they rallied behind Adolf Hitler. So the Germans wanted the government which would give them security, the governments which would give them political glory, the governments they wanted those had hardcore governments. No wonder that when Adolf Hitler showed interest for rise to power, the Germans embraced his ideology and never stood in his way for his rise to power. We are going to see the economic hardship or the economic depression. So in this economic depression started in 1929 to 1933. So this economic depression was characterized by inflation, unemployment, starvation, and death of people. So the Weimar never took that firm stand to cap out or to crop out this economic depression. This gave soft grounds for Hitler to decampaign the government, hence his rise to power. So we have also the weakness of the Weimar. The Weimar, remember, in the Versailles, the Weimar accepted the Versailles, which was very humiliating. In this Versailles, Germany was to pay 6.6 billion euro pounds, which was very huge money for a country which was just from the war. Another point we have that the Weimar never took stand for the revival of the territories which she had lost, like Arusika, like Belgium, the territories like Tanganyika. So Hitler used this to decampaign the Weimar, hence his downfall. And we have the Nazi Party. What was the Nazi Party? The Nazi Party was the party which was created by Adolf Hitler from the National Socialist Germany's party. So the Hitler was gifted with he was a gifted demagogue and an authority that earned him the leadership of a Nazi Party in 1920. You see, his mobilization and real skills made Nazi Party to be the strongest in Germany. He used his oratory skills and propaganda to move the audience with him, who would explode, shout like thunder, and ask for blood of German enemies. He makes politics with the religion and stresses his points to the point of crying. This showed Hitler's He concerned for the problems that the Germans were facing and earned him more support and sits in the parliament since his rise to power. This one is very instrumental, but we have the press. The press can't go unmentioned. So the press is the one which popularized the nani. It popularized this book, the pamphlets which he wrote while in prison. It is this same press, it is this the same press which published his 25 program in his book he wrote while in prison, that is known as My Struggle. So all of that made him popular. More encouraging was the plays covered the rallies of Adolf Hitler and made him popular amongst the Germans. So I think that is Adolf Hitler in brief. Thank you for watching, and I pray that you subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me at Gerard on Twitter and at Gerard, Facebook, Instagram, Gerard. Thank you guys. I love you all.